For background here, and I've got a picture of Relli here in the article on legalaffairsandtrials.com. There's Rocky. But Relli testified in the preliminary hearing that they've all known each other since high school, and he was part of the ASAP group and knew Rocky before he was famous. And they all had a group text going, and there was a friend who died, and they were talking about the need to get his body back to New York. And Relli's testimony, and the text messages align with this, is that Rocky had said that he would pay to have the friend's body flown back to New York. But then there was a discussion over the next few weeks between the friends about whether Rocky had actually done that. And Relli was under the impression that he hadn't paid for it. So he was upset with Rocky, and he texted Rocky specifically himself and said, like, one of the texts was like, "You so fucking fake, it's sad." And there was all this back and forth, like some phone calls, just kind of shit talking. And they arranged to meet up at this Hollywood street corner. So here comes drama. No, it starts Tuesday, not till Tuesday, jury selection. So we've got a little bit of a break now, but Tuesday morning, and not even barely morning, it's like 10:45 a.m. here in California. Rocky or the jurors, prospective jurors, are supposed to be in court, but I think Rocky's supposed to show up at 10 a.m. So I'll be over at the courthouse at 9:30 or something, because we want to see him going in. But yeah, I'll play the video from the prelim of the actual, because the cops went and got surveillance video of everything that showed what happened. So here's
Follow-up question. What is this? It's still People's 9.
So this is the very beginning when they first see each other. Actually, wait. Okay, there's the shooting. This is supposedly the shooting. So that is the shooting, and that's all you can see. I mean, you can't even tell who's doing what or anything. So but the cops will guide it, and through Relli's testimony, the prosecutors are hoping that it establishes who all is who. I mean, you can obviously tell something's going on, but you can't. I mean, so that's the video of the shooting. There's definitely something for the defense to work with. And then they keep going down the street. This isn't, and this is all afterward. You just kind of chase their activity afterwards. I'm going to fast forward to Aquafina talking to this guy.
There's nothing novel or new about the.
Why don't you show it to
Well, you want, I've seen them, it's okay, it's fine, it is from the video, it's not bad, we have the video, but if exhibits being entered into evidence, I'd like copying it, pretty standard operating procedure, so those are still shots.
That was taken from the adjacent parking, and that captures video of somebody holding a gun in his left, appears to be left hand.
Okay. From your investigation, were you able to identify who that person is?
Yes.
Who is that?
Rakim Myers.
Okay. I'm going to show you 14B. This one has 2 photographs that are individually labeled.
Rakim Myers.
Correct.
Do you recognize where each of those photographs came from?
Yes, I do.
And the photo on the left, where's that from?
That's from the onset on Argyle, just north of Selma, at the parking entrance. The one on the left, the one on the right is the loading dock of El Centro, just kind of north of Vista Del Mar.
Okay. And consistent with what you said previously, would this also depict the defendant, Mr. Mayers?
Yes,
All right. Specifically, the detailing on the hood of his sweatshirt?
yes, consistent.
Okay. Next is 14C. Would you agree the photo on the left came from the same parking entrance and the photo on the right came from the same loading dock area on El Centro?
Yes, this is all video there to be, yes it is.
Okay. And specifically in this, just highlighting the design of the chest area of the sweatshirt?
Yes,
I'm going to move on to 14D.
So that's-
I'm going to only direct your attention to the photograph on the
Rocky
right, which is labeled as
Rocky's got
C
the
on
skull.
people's 14D. Do you recognize where that photograph comes from?
yes, also from the.
Yeah, I think Sunshine Avenue has a good.
Okay. The person on the far right-hand side in this photograph, were you able to?
I said, I think the defense does have some stuff to work with. Like, I mean, frankly, more so than like Tory Lanez's case. But I mean, there's no phone call confession. The video is grainy. But when Relli testified in the prelim, I was like, oh man, this guy's a nightmare for Rocky. Like he's a very, I thought he was believable. I mean, but in the end, that's not up for me to decide. It's up for the jury. But he's already had practice up on the stand. So, and he and Takapina kind of got into it in cross-examination. And I think that's the kind of thing that I think more favors a witness when a defense attorney is kind of badgering him like that, because if he can maintain his cool, but the defense attorney kind of loses it, I mean, there's a lot that remains to be seen, but yeah, I mean, and that's why I think the prosecutor on yesterday, when he brought up, he wants to make sure that Rocky knows what he's facing here. And I'll bring up that video, but he said that, Rocky is facing years in state prison if convicted, even with the 2/3 time, that kind of thing. He didn't say a specific number of years. And of course that remains to be decided, but there was kind of an era of, they're not sure if Takapina is actually preparing him for this. Takapina is just telling him, don't worry. And Rocky hasn't had to go to court since his prelim. He's waived all his appearances, which is pretty common in stuff like this. So, I mean, you could tell that the prosecutors are just wondering if the defense attorney is really like prepped Rocky for what he could be, what he could be facing here. Oh, and keeping it real, he did sue. There's actually 2 lawsuits from Relli. He sued for over the shooting, and then he sued for defamation too. He sued Takapina and Rocky for defamation. So those are just, I think, on hold right now until the criminal case is resolved. But we'll go back to yesterday's hearing here.
On Tuesday, which is the 21st, to come here first to this courtroom. If you could be here at 10 o'clock, we'll have a jury panel. Is it 10:40? It has to be 10:45?
The jury sitting.
10:45 out in the hallway in front of Department 102. We're going to tell the jury that it's going to take approximately 15 court days. Does everybody agree with that?
Sure. Yes.
All right, as far as jury selection is concerned, I will discuss, I will let the jurors know that regardless of who a defendant is, whether they're, the richest person in the world or the poorest person, everybody is to be treated the same. Nobody is to be given brownie points or lose brownie points. I'm just using the word brownie points just as an illustration, because of their status in life. Everybody has to be treated the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop this for a second because I see Dom's comment, and that's one thing that I remember was coming out in the prelim where Rocky's lawyer is pushing the whole, this case only exists because Relli wants money. It's like, I think that is almost kind of unbelievable on its face. The idea that Rocky, who is a billionaire, or Rihanna's a billionaire, could have just paid money to make this go away and not be facing possibly years in state prison. And he just decided not to do it because he just, wants to prove a point about justice or something. It's like, that sounds kind of unbelievable. And I don't know how much that will come out in trial, but it seems like the prosecutors could easily make a point that, their money wouldn't be influenced by a lawsuit settlement or something like that. But it's like, wait a minute. If Rocky could have just paid Relli money to make this criminal case go away, he absolutely should have done it, because this is a risk right here,